James loved visiting his grandparents' home in the countryside. It was a cozy and peaceful place, surrounded by green fields and tall trees. He enjoyed playing with his grandfather's old toys, listening to his grandmother's stories, and eating her delicious pies. But there was one thing that James hated about his grandparents' home. It was the attic. The attic was a dark and dusty place, full of old furniture, books, and boxes. James always felt a cold and creepy sensation whenever he went near the attic door. He never dared to go inside, even when his grandparents asked him to help them with some chores. One night, when James was sleeping in his room, he heard a loud thud from the attic. He woke up and looked at the clock. It was 3 a.m. He wondered what could have made that noise. He thought maybe a rat or a bird had gotten inside. He decided to ignore it and go back to sleep. But then he heard another thud, followed by a creaking sound. He felt a surge of fear and curiosity. He got out of his bed and grabbed a flashlight. He tiptoed to the attic door and opened it slowly. He saw a narrow staircase leading to the dark and dusty attic. He shone his flashlight and saw a faint outline of a window at the end of the room. He decided to go up and see what was making the noise. He climbed the stairs carefully, trying not to make any sound. He reached the top and looked around. He saw piles of old stuff, covered with cobwebs and dust. He saw a rocking chair, a chest, a dollhouse, and a painting. He felt a chill run down his spine. He wondered what secrets were hidden in those things. He walked towards the window, hoping to see the source of the noise. He reached the window and looked outside. He saw a full moon shining brightly in the sky. He also saw something else. He saw a shadowy figure standing on the roof of the house. It looked like a man, but it was too dark to see his face. He was wearing a long coat and a hat. He was holding something in his hand. It looked like a knife. James gasped and dropped his flashlight. He heard the figure laugh and say, "Hello, James. I've been waiting for you." James felt a surge of terror and confusion. He wondered who the figure was and how he knew his name. He wondered what he wanted from him. He wondered if he was dreaming or awake. He wanted to scream and run, but he was too scared to move. He felt paralyzed by fear. He heard the figure say, "Don't be afraid, James. I'm your grandfather, your real grandfather, the one they locked up in the asylum, the one they said was crazy, the one they said was dead. But I'm not dead, James. I'm alive. And I've come back to claim what's mine. You, James, you're mine. You're my grandson, and you're going to join me in the attic. Forever." James felt a cold hand grab his shoulder and pull him towards the window. He saw the figure's face for the first time. He saw a pair of red and glowing eyes, a twisted and toothless smile, and a scarred and wrinkled skin. He saw his grandfather's face, but it was not the grandfather he knew and loved. It was a monster that had escaped from the asylum, a monster that had killed his grandparents and taken their place, a monster that had been living in the attic for years, a monster that had been watching him and waiting for him. James screamed and struggled, but it was too late. The figure dragged him out of the window and onto the roof. He felt the knife pierce his chest and his blood spill on the tiles. He felt his life fade away and his vision go black. He felt the figure hug him and whisper in his ear, "Welcome to the family, James. Welcome to the attic.